welcome back. Today I'm putting a little twist on our segment. What we're going to do today is not look at a specific skill, but review a series of very common mistakes. These mistakes are things that are slowing you down or causing injury, and I want to help you figure out how to fix them. Let's hit the pool. Okay, so I'd like to take these skills one at a time. The first one I'd like to work on is your body balance. All I want you to do is relax the back of your neck, look straight down at the bottom. Remember, it's not about put it down, it's about letting go and relaxing it down, okay? Okay, I think we're seeing a good improvement here in that head position. It took him the first 25, but now he's really getting that head much lower. And it's already started correcting a little bit of his overroll, but we'll deal with that next. Hey, nice job. So we do have a few things that we really want to work on. The first that I want to mention is your neck. You are over-rolling your neck, not to be confused with rolling your body. When we roll our shoulders, the head goes along, but what you're doing is you're going beyond that and taking your neck and you're looking at the ceiling. Okay, we need to keep this down here, looking at the coping or the lane lines, keeping your vision low and keeping your ear in the water and one eye in the water, okay? I'm hoping in this video that you can see his feet, because by changing his neck position, by lowering his head and not over-rolling his neck, he's naturally losing some of the large truncheon that we saw at first. Now we still want to correct that a little bit more, but look at how much smaller it is. That's because his over-rotation of his neck is fixing his timing, and his legs don't have the time to do the incorrect truncheon kick. I don't know if you noticed, but I noticed, and I know that the cameras are going to back me up on this, that by changing your breathing and your head position, we already eliminated a large portion of your truncheon, because by changing your breathing, we took away the time and we took away the imbalance that was forcing you to do that, because your legs were saying, wait, what do I do during this time? So now we're going to try to take one more step to eliminating the last remnants of your truncheon. So let's talk about your kick. Instead of having a flutter kick, which is a 6-beat, or even a 2-beat flutter kick, which is bigger, what you're doing is called a truncheon. And when you do a truncheon, you bring up your knee and you kick your leg out in something that resembles side stroke. This is doing two things. One, it's breaking the rule of alignment. Your knee is way out here, well outside, you're creating a lot of extra drag. So we want to eliminate that truncheon. But that truncheon also takes a lot of time, and it's connecting into your neck. It's saying, I want to spend this extra time because the neck is forcing me to roll so much that these two are connected together for you. So as we eliminate one, we'll eliminate the other. So I don't want you to bend your knees. I want you to keep them very close together, and let's see what we get. Okay, this is a definite improvement. I think this one's going to be a little bit tough for him to make this change, because the habit in the hip is so ingrained. But you can see that there's the kick out to the side is being reduced, and we're getting an extra beat kick. That came naturally as he's not putting out the knee. It's allowing him the more time, and he's using that time to do an extra beat kick. Excellent. Now, while your first two changes were really wonderful, you gave me a huge amount of change in the first two skills, this third one was a little more of a struggle. You absolutely positively took several large steps in the right direction, but you're not there yet. You're going to have to work on keeping those legs together and not allowing that hip to flex outward, and it will take you a little bit of time, but excellent improvement for one lesson. Our next swimmer is Carl. He's an Ironman triathlete, and he has qualified for 3 different world championships in the half and full distances. We're going to watch him swim and see how we can help. Carl, give me a 50 freestyle, Carl. Okay, Carl, nice job. I've got a few things I'd like to tweak. So the first thing I'd look to work on is your recovery or your pendulum swing. When you pick your arm up, you're swinging wide and around. What we want is a nice high elbow and a straight line forward. Why? The shortest distance between points is a straight line. It's also can become painful when you swing your arm out. You can get pain in your shoulder from having to support all that weight and inconsistent entry. So we're going to eliminate all three of those possible outcomes, actually all three of those almost certain outcomes, by doing elbow lift, fingertip drag forward. This is helping you get the biofeedback you need to keep your hand going straight instead of swimming in an arc. Can you give that a try for me? Sure. Thanks. Okay, so look at Carl's fingertips. You see that right hand dragging in the water? See those fingertips? He's not dragging his whole wrist, just those fingertips. And while it's not a perfect precision of straight, it's a huge improvement. And that's all we need. Oh, and he's getting better as we go, so I'm really pleased with Carl. Excellent job. At first you were a little undependable. As we went on, you got better and better at maintaining that really excellent fingertip drag. So now we're going to do the second part, still working on that same issue. What I want you to do is elbow lift, fingertip drag for 2, and then elbow lift, pendulum swing, slicing the hole, maintaining that high elbow and that straight line forward as you enter. Okay, so it's drag, drag, lift, lift. Okay? If you don't get exactly 1-1, don't worry about it. Just keep going for it and go for it. I want you to use that drill in your workouts every day for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks to help you develop that new muscle memory. The next thing I'd like to look at is to go underwater and address your pull. The first thing we're going to look at is when you extend forward, how deep you are underwater. If here's the surface, I want you 4 inches under the water. You are a good foot or so under the water. Okay, 9 inches under the water. I want you, as you extend forward, to use this underneath to support that arm so that we're staying shallower. On the flip side, I don't want you coming up to the surface. I just want you just barely 3 to 4 inches underneath the surface. Okay? Let's do that. Just think about lifting and holding it here while still doing elbow lift, pendulum swing. Okay, look at those hands. They're nicely and clean and near the surface without dropping down too deep. Nice job, Carl. Our next swimmer is Randy, and he is a retired competitive swimmer who swam through high school. Randy, goggle up. Nice job, Brandy. You have excellent stroke mechanics, but you have one major item that we need to fix. Beautiful catch, right where it belongs. Halfway through your stroke, you allow your elbow to rise down and your hand to rise up. This ball of water is here. As soon as you moved your hand, you lost the ball. You had nothing left to push. That means you lost a lot of your potential speed. So what I want you to do is once you're out here, do that catch and think about the same railroad tracks that I had our last swimmer on. Could you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Good. How'd it feel?
Felt like I was more repelling.
Right, because you didn't lose the ball. You had something of higher density to hold on to, which allowed you to push yourself forward further. Nice job. Our next swimmer is Michael. And Michael actually is one of our staff swimmers and you've seen him on many of our videos. But it was unfortunate that we were not able to get a swimmer here today to do this filming who had these two particular mistakes. So we've asked Michael to give us a good approximation of the mistake. And I'll tell you, after working with him for just a minute, he makes this mistake just like my swimmers do. So let's watch Michael swim. Okay, thank you, Michael. Now, if you make the mistakes that Michael was kind enough to demonstrate for us today, here are the changes I want you to make. And Michael's going to go ahead and show us these changes. The first one is I'm going to ask Michael to relax the back of his neck, drop his head down, and allow himself to stay in balance in the water. He had the water level here. I wanted to put his head down and have the water level here. Okay, Michael? Excellent. Michael relaxed his neck, and did you notice that the water went from here to here? Of course, Michael already knew how to do that, but I promise you it's a very simple change, but it does take time to fix because muscle memory will want to continue to bring it back into the old position. So the other mistake that Michael's making for us is he's slipping his elbows. As he reaches out, the elbow is leading the way. It's a very common error because it feels fast. It allows you to move your arm through the water real quick. The problem is we're not trying to move our arm through the water, we're trying to move our body forward. And for that, we need to really grab a lot of water and drive. So what we're going to ask Michael to do is now do it correct for us, which is reach out, drive the fingertips to the bottom, which is called the catch, and drive straight through on railroad tracks. Okay, no dropping the ball for me. Let's go. Thanks for joining me today for this video on common mistakes. If you haven't seen your mistake, let us know. Hopefully we can add it because we're always adding to our video collections to help you be a better swimmer.